Thank you for joining us this morning in beautiful but somewhat damp Pasadena. It's my pleasure on behalf of the 935 volunteer members of the Tournament of Roses Association to welcome you to the announcement of the 2018 Grand Marshal. I am so honored to be the one who has the opportunity to introduce our Grand Marshal, a remarkable example of selfless service, an incredible humanitarian, and the absolute embodiment of this year's theme. The theme of the 2018 Rose Parade is making a difference. The theme is many things. It's a salute to the volunteers of the Tournament of Roses and those across America. It's a nod to the incredibly philanthropic community that our city of Pasadena is. However, at its very core, it's really all about those people in each of our communities, be it school, church, neighborhood, team, you name it, those people that give of themselves quietly and unselfishly, doing for others without desire for reward or recognition, but just because it's the right thing, the kind thing to do. These are the people that remind us that there is kindness in humankind. We all know them, we've all benefited from them. These are the people that enrich all of our lives, the people that believe we can always do a little more. And when you put all that together, it comes as no surprise as to why this year's Grand Marshal is the perfect choice. Born in Blue Island, Illinois, our Grand Marshal attended Highland Park High School in Highland Park, Illinois. And upon graduating at 18 years old, he co-founded a famous and highly influential theater company, which for over 40 years has been a training ground for a multitude of talented actors, writers, and directors. Our Grand Marshal immediately began earning several honors and awards for acting and directing endeavors, taking this person from Chicago to New York City to London's West End. But before I list some of those extensive credits, which may give away the surprise just a little bit too soon, I'd like to skip ahead to the remarkable charitable and altruistic efforts that make this Grand Marshal someone special and truly unique. Our Grand Marshal supports many charitable organizations, including serving on the President's Advisory Group for the Medal of Honor Foundation and on the Advisory Council of Hope for Warriors, a national nonprofit organization dedicated to providing care for combat wounded veterans and their families. In 2012, this person was made an honorary Chief Petty Officer by the U.S. Navy, and in 2013 was pinned an honorary Marine by the Commandant of the Marine Corps. Over the years, our Grand Marshal has received many awards and honors for charitable work, including the Army Outstanding Civilian Service Award Medal, the third highest honor awarded by the Department of the Army to civilians, as well as receiving the Presidential Citizens Medal, the second highest civilian honor given for exemplary deeds in service to our nation. In 2011, our Grand Marshal founded a charity which bears his or her name and honors America's defenders, veterans, first responders, their families, and those in need through its various programs. Long an advocate for and supporter of our first responders, veterans, and defenders, just 2 weeks ago, the Association of the United States Army presented their highest award for service to the nation to our Grand Marshal, the 2017 George C. Marshall Medal, which is awarded annually for selfless service to the United States of America. This implies service in more than one area or under extraordinary circumstances. Not only does our Grand Marshal support various organizations, but also performs on USO tours at military bases around the world with a band that shares the name of one of this person's most famous movie roles. Now about that movie role. It brought a Best Supporting Academy Award nomination in 1994, our first Grand Marshal with an acting Oscar nomination since Cloris Leachman in 2009. Other notable acting appearances include roles in such classics and memorable movies as Ransom, Apollo 13, and The Green Mile. Moving to television brought even more accolades and acclaim, winning a Golden Globe Award, SAG Award, and Emmy nomination for his portrayal of Harry S. Truman. He also won an Emmy Award, SAG Award, and Golden Globe nomination for his powerful portrayal of George Wallace. And he received worldwide fame starring in and producing the highly successful TV series CSI New York, and most recently Criminal Minds Beyond Borders. It's no surprise that earlier this year he received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, cameras up. Please welcome one of the stars of Forrest Gump, co-founder and bass guitar player for the Lieutenant Dan Band, husband, father, humanitarian, someone truly dedicated to making a difference through his own foundation, the Grand Marshal for the 2018 Rose Parade Tournament of Roses, Mr. Gary Sinise.
Thank you. Thank you, Lance. An absolute honor and thrill to be the 2018 Grand Marshal for the Rose Parade. I actually lived in Pasadena at the time that we had made Forrest Gump. I remember, and at that time, I hadn't done too much in the movie or television business, so I wasn't very well known at that time. And I remember the street I lived on here in Pasadena had a speed bump outside, and it said bump. And one morning I walked outside to get the mail or something, and somebody had painted over the B and made it a G. And it was Gump out in front of my house. And 2 days later, I remember answering the door, and a police officer was there from the Pasadena Police Department. They said, well, sir, we've had some calls about some break-ins in the neighborhood, and we wanted to check with you to see if there's anything, you notice anything suspicious or anything like that. And I said, well, no, everything's fine, everything's fine. And from behind his back, he pulled out a script and said, I happen to be a writer too, and I wrote a script about a Vietnam veteran, and I was wondering if I could give you that. So we moved to Malibu after that. But that year, January 1st, 1995, we went to the Rose Parade. My wife and my kids, they were very young at the time. Growing up in Chicago, I remember watching the Rose Parade. January 1st in Chicago, if you can imagine, is very, very cold. And watching that parade, I was very jealous about all the folks that live here in California who were at that parade. So when we moved here, one of the first things we wanted to do was to come and be a part of the Rose Parade. And now here I am, all those years later, as the Grand Marshal of the 2018 Rose Parade. This is just life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. I am thrilled to be here, honored to be here. I'm looking forward to all the many events that go on that weekend. Doing the coin toss and attending the game and bringing my family once again. My kids are grown up, and just 5 months ago we had our first grandchild. So she'll be coming to the Rose Parade. God bless you. God bless America. And remember, Making a difference is the theme for this Tournament of Roses, and I feel blessed that I've been able to take this success that I've had in the movie and television business and to do something positive for it, with it to make a difference in the lives of our veterans, our active duty service members, our Gold Star families, way too many Gold Star families, way too many wounded from these wars. They continue to struggle, they continue to sacrifice for us. So if by shining a little spotlight on me on January 1st can shine a spotlight on them to help me make a difference in their lives, I am very, very grateful to do that. God bless you. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, our 2018 Grand Marshal for the Tournament of Roses, Mr. Gary Sinise. Thank you for coming. We look forward to seeing you here in Pasadena on January 1st, 2018 for the 129th Rose Parade presented by Honda and the 104th Rose Bowl game presented by Northwest Music.
Thank you everybody for watching MUSE. You have just watched the announcement of Gary Sinise as the Grand Marshal of the 2018 Rose Parade here in Pasadena, California. Make sure to check out MUSE at TV at YouTube and all our outlets for a quick interview with Gary Sinise shortly.